John Ayers was the unofficial mayor of Westover from 1948 to 1976. This plaque was created in memory of a man whose dedication to Westover's children was of paramount importance. He used his commercial establishment as a platform for service to his community. His love and dedication to Westover will radiate as long as he is remembered, and we won't forget.
Hi, I'm here with Christy Peterkin, and she's the daughter of the Ayers hardware owner. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you.
So, what is Ayers hardware exactly?
We are an old school mom and pop 5 and 10. My theory is, and hopefully our motto is, if we don't have it, you don't need it.
I see, that's so charming. So, you basically carry things that most other stores don't carry anymore.
We try to. If it's something you're having a hard time finding and I can get it for you, I will. And if I can't, I'll go through the internet and try to dig it up for you. Even if I can't get it, I'll tell you where you can.
Right. And what do you find that the community says about Ayers hardware?
Generally, we get positive feedback. People like to walk in the front door and take a deep breath in because it smells like their childhood.
Yes.
The stores they remember from back in the day.
Right.
And that's true for a lot of the folks my age and older. But even the younger generations seem to appreciate that we're a little bit different.
Right. Yes. I could see that right away when I first walked into this place years ago, coming from California, and I had never been in here, but immediately felt right at home.
Oh, good.
And what else is it besides, I mean, it just seems like you have the hardware store section part of it, and then this additional section.
So we sell a little bit of everything. The hardware side is kind of a mini hardware. We don't have a lumber section, but we do have a little bit of everything else that you could probably want. The variety side is a huge mix. We have toys, we have school supplies, housewares, household chemicals, both indoor and outdoor chemicals.
Alarm clocks.
We do. We have alarm clocks.
Everything.
We do.
Pumice stone.
Yes,
I've
yes,
come in here for
absolutely.
So, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Ayers?
So the store was started in the late 1940s by John Ayers. I don't know the exact date because I've never gone down to pull the business license, but
Okay.
we know late 40s.
Right.
He owned it until 1976 when he passed away, and that's when my parents purchased it from his nephew who did not wish to be a retailer. And we've had it ever since.
Oh, that's so nice. It must be comforting for so many Arlingtonians to have this store here.
They tell us it is. They don't want us to change anything. When my father purchased it, he had to change the shelving because it was, unfortunately, a shoplifter's paradise of little hidey holes and things.
Oh, my gosh.
And so when he changed it, we heard negative feedback for years. 15, 20 years later, you changed the counters.
That's so funny.
But people finally got used to it and
great.
thankfully didn't stop shopping here.
Yeah. So what's your father's name?
Ronald Kaplan, and my mom's name is Wilma.
That's awesome.
And they still come in a couple days a week, and my brother and I manage it for them the rest of the time.
That's so great.
It's fun.
So how do you find yourselves involved in the community?
So we do several events with the other businesses in Westover. We do an Easter egg hunt every year over at Reed School's playground area. We usually do a Halloween event that the trick-or-treaters can come and trick-or-treat at the different stores.
Oh, that's so nice.
We have had a Santa here every year since who knows when.
Right.
And our Santa is free for those who bring their children down. They bring their cell phones and take pictures and sit and chat at will. And it's kind of nice because it's not a big, scary experience at the mall. It's just Santa sitting up in the hardware section.
Right. So is that any day during the holiday season? Or?
It's certain days, and we post it both on our Facebook page and on our front door.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's
And do the people from the farmers market, which takes place, I think, on Sundays, right?
yes.
Do they come in here after that, or does the store have a representative that goes over there, or do you notice any effect either way?
Not really. Unfortunately for us, our business tended to slow down some on Sundays with the advent of the farmers market. We're not quite sure what the reason for that was, but we don't generally see much business directly at that time.
I see.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure why.
Yeah. But you have a lot of additional employees besides yourself that work here. Isn't that right?
We do. We have all total 17 employees. 7 of those are full-time, and the rest are part-time teenagers and college students who we have hired and employed for years.
Wow. Well, I know that there are some very regular employees that I recognize every time I come in here.
Oh, yes. Yes, our full-timers we have been here a long time. We even have one employee who's been here 55 years. She worked for Mr. Ayers back in the day.
Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, I immediately noticed the beautiful smell in this place when I walked in here today, and I really want to thank you for having us here.
It's our pleasure.
It's fun walking into little comforts of home like Grandma's home. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for
Ayers
coming.
Hardware. All right. See you soon.
Okay.
Hello, this is Hef Munson coming to you from the wonder that is the Bluemont Trail. This is another one of those things in everyday Arlington. It's free. It's one of those things that you may already know is there, but you keep forgetting about. And it's a perfect place to go. You can walk, you can bike, you can do all manner of things. You can see dogs when there are dogs here. You can see people pushing prams. Oddly enough, they sometimes have little parades of the children. Halloween, they have costumes. And up and down this stretch, there's usually something going on, especially during the weekends. The Bluemont Trail has a history that ties in with the town of Bluemont, Virginia, but it didn't start out that way. The town itself was originally named Snickers Gap, after Edward Snickers, who operated a ferry across the nearby Shenandoah River. Really? It was in 1807. You can't make this stuff up. Later on, in 1826, the town was incorporated under the name of Snickersville, which must have seemed like an improvement at the time. Then, in 1875, the Washington and Ohio Railroad came and brought vacationers seeking the cooler climate of the Blue Ridge Mountains nearby. Soon thereafter, several resort hotels were set up to accommodate the visitors. Next thing you know, well, around 1900 actually, the railroad management decided that Snickersville didn't sound posh enough. So they petitioned the Postal Service to change the name of the town to Bluemont. In 1911, the Washington and Old Dominion Railway was formed and operated between Bluemont and Alexandria. The next year, the Bluemont Junction Line was constructed to join with another railroad, thus extending service all the way into Georgetown. Then, as most people know, the cars came and everyone started driving instead of taking the train. After 1968, the rails were removed, but the trail remains. Pretty, isn't it? So, by all means, or by whatever means seems reasonable, come and check it out. It is a part of Arlington. It's part of what your tax dollars probably paid for already, so you might as well come and enjoy it. I'm signing off now. I'm not going to tell you again who I am, but there won't be a quiz. The important thing is to come and enjoy everyday Arlington. Sushi-Zen in Arlington is celebrating their 20th anniversary, so I stopped in and spoke with Shoji Mochizuki, Brian Mochizuki, and Rosie Gordon. This is a big anniversary coming up for you.
Yes.
How long has it been since you've started this place?
About 20 years. We opened 1997 June. So that's 20 years.
Are you going to be having any special event here to acknowledge that milestone?
So in June, we have in every week we have special event for customer, the service, for congratulations forever. Thank you very much to customers. So anyway, so we have a whole month we do.
I've been involved. I actually started here when I was about 15 years old. So, the past 16 years I've been working here, actually. It's the only job I've ever had. And so I think maybe about the past 10 years I've been more serious about getting involved with the restaurant, helping my father. One thing I just love about working at this restaurant, being involved in my family business is really that, I have the opportunity to take this business where I want it to go, together with my family. And so the direction we want to head in, and, that's all determined by us and my family. So that's why I really love that we have the opportunity to really make this restaurant the way we want it to, and especially because we're really big on sustainability and being health conscious, and so that's why being able to do that is it really gives me a great pride. The thing about food is always when we eat a great meal, it always makes us feel wonderful inside. Even though we might have a bad day, when we eat like a meal that's just so good, we just feel better. It makes us happy, and so that's why I love this job so much, and really taking care of this restaurant and really giving the best customer service to our customers and the best tasting food is because it makes them feel happy. And so it brings me such great joy, when asked the customer how was everything, they say it was wonderful, it was amazing, it's the best meal I've ever had. Those when I hear those kind of things, it really gives me joy in my life, that I'm doing this for them.
When we started, actually when we were doing construction, Shoji is very handy with building things. He just has one of these minds, and my son Brian has the same way. They can just look at a picture and figure out how to do it. You could give me the picture, you could tell me, but unless you took me step by step through something a half a dozen times, I couldn't figure out anything. So he actually was the construction manager. Once we got the construction firm, and he talked to my husband, and he had all these ideas, and he actually drew, diagram of the sushi bar. So we actually saved a tremendous amount of money because he was there every day, for quite a few months, overseeing the construction crew that the construction company, provided, and they were a very good, company here. And what happened, his uncle, Shoji's uncle, is very skilled at building things. So he created, as his gift to us, these shoji screens. Shoji is the paper. Now, it used to be shoji paper, but we found, especially back here, kids would, poke it and write on it, and anyway. So we finally actually just went and got those light covers, that you have on fluorescent lights, and turned it on here so that it's a little more sturdy. And then his uncle created those lamps that are up there in the ceiling. And then from the company that he worked for, it was a company that supplied Japanese and Oriental decorations, we got the lamps there. Then Shoji and I went to the Freer Gallery, and they don't have it now, but back in the day they had amazing pictures, Japanese pictures. And so that's where all of these pictures came from. They're all Japanese, very famous Japanese pictures. You'll see the picture of the wall, the wave there, and then we had that duplicated in our, as you come into our entrance way, that wave. You'll see, these are all, someone that worked for us created these. They're in Japanese, the names of the fish that we have. Some things that are really important in your life, you have a vivid image, and I still remember when we were at, I think in Rockville, Roy Rogers, talking about, we just found this place, and was this going to work? We didn't know. And then, what were we going to call this restaurant? So my husband, his partner, and I were throwing around different names. We thought, we better have something with sushi in it. And then the word Zen came up, and I go, Zen means meditation. This is not a meditation place. And Shoji said, no. There's a different Japanese character, sounds the same, Zen, but it means dining table. And in Japan, it's a tradition that, maybe it's lunchtime or dinner time. The family comes together. They come together to share the day's happenings. They come together for communal, food. And it's just a really warm, close time, in the life of a Japanese family, that Zen time, with the character that means Zen dining table. So that's where it became Sushi-Zen. We really wanted to create a menu. Japanese food actually is very healthy. Japanese have one of the longest lifespans in the world. When Shoji talked about being around when he's 96, that's totally feasible, because he's a very healthy person. He still exercises every day, eats very healthy, takes his vitamins, so that's, that's what we wanted to create.
Well, congratulations on 20 years of success, and hoping that you'll go 20 more.
Yeah, 21. Next year.
Hello, this is Hef Munson. I'm kind of tied up here, but we're going to do this anyway. This is Everyday Arlington, although this may not happen to you every day. I seem to be here at the railroad tracks at the Bluemont Park in Arlington, just off of Wilson Boulevard, and very, very close to the wonderful Caboose. It is definitely something to behold, even though my viewpoint is a little bit constrained. So you should come down here, check it out. There are lots of fun things to do, especially if you become mobile. So we'll see. But you might want to hurry on down when you get the chance, and somebody come and untie me, maybe.
Of course, there's more to Bluemont Park than just the Caboose. There are tennis courts, a shelter, a soccer field, some baseball fields, and a little bit farther south there's another shelter and a pretty neat playground. There are farmy things, and there are trainy things. Technically, the name of the park is the Bluemont Junction Park, but the playground is just called the Bluemont Playground. No point complicating things when children are involved. Bluemont Park also has two separate routes for the W&OD and 4 Mile Run bike trails. 4 Mile Run itself flows between the two trails. In case you were wondering, Bluemont Park covers 70 acres, so if you find yourself getting tired after walking around it, that might be the reason. The Caboose itself is open for visitors on most weekends between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Inside, you'll find a kind of exhibit of the history of the railroad. Admission is free, of course, which fits nicely within my budget. The Caboose is located just south of Wilson Boulevard and can be accessed from the W&OD bike trail. This is Hefmanson saying goodbye for now, I hope, for Everyday Arlington. Maybe I'll see you again.